Have you ever found yourself forgetting where you placed your glasses, or maybe you walk into a room and can't quite remember why you're there? It happens to the best of us, especially as we get older. But here's something that might surprise you. Those little lapses don't have to be a sign of aging, they can actually be a signal that your brain needs a bit of a workout. The good news is, you don't have to hit the gym to keep your brain in shape. There are fun, easy games, and activities you can do at home to boost your brain power and improve your memory. In this video, I'm going to share with you 4 fun games that will sharpen your memory and keep your brain active. These games are simple, enjoyable, and can be done at any time of the day. So whether you're sitting on the couch with a cup of tea or you're out on the porch enjoying a sunny afternoon, you can take a few minutes to give your brain the boost it deserves. Before we get started, if you haven't subscribed yet, I highly recommend hitting that subscribe button and turning on the notification bell so you never miss a video. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. And if it wasn't your cup of tea, just drop a 0 in the comments to let me know so I can improve and make better videos for you. Let's start with the first game, one that you've probably heard of, but maybe haven't tried in a while: word association games. Word association might sound simple, but trust me, it can do wonders for your memory. The idea is to take a word and then quickly come up with another word that's somehow connected to it. For example, if I say apple, you might say fruit, or tree, or even pie. Here's where it gets fun. Try to make the connection between the words as creative as possible. The more unusual or unexpected the connection, the better. Not only does this exercise engage your brain, but it also boosts your ability to think quickly and recall information faster. If you want to make this a little more challenging, you can set a timer and try to come up with as many associations as you can within 30 seconds. You'll be amazed at how quickly your brain will adapt and start firing off connections. Another twist you can add to this game is by turning it into a memory challenge. Start with a word like dog, and each time you play, try to remember all the words you've already associated with it. Over time, you'll notice your ability to retain and recall these associations will improve, and that's because you're exercising your memory muscle in a fun and engaging way. Now, if you're playing with others, maybe with friends or family, this can turn into a friendly competition. You could take turns saying a word and seeing who can come up with the most creative or unique associations in a set amount of time. This simple game not only helps sharpen your memory, but it can also lift your mood and give you a few laughs along the way. The second game that I absolutely recommend for keeping your memory sharp is puzzles, specifically jigsaw puzzles. Now, I know what you're thinking: I don't have the time for a big puzzle, but hear me out. Jigsaw puzzles are a great way to boost cognitive function, improve problem-solving skills, and even enhance your visual memory. Plus, they are a fantastic way to relax and unwind. When you work on a puzzle, your brain is actively engaged in looking for patterns, making connections between pieces, and recalling the image that's gradually taking shape. This helps improve your short-term memory and even enhances your focus. You're essentially teaching your brain how to make connections and follow through on tasks, skills that are valuable in everyday life. If you've never tried jigsaw puzzles before, start with something small, a puzzle with maybe 100 pieces. It doesn't need to be huge to be effective. As you become more comfortable, you can challenge yourself with puzzles that are a bit larger or more complex. And here's a bonus: puzzles are an excellent way to keep your mind sharp while spending quality time with others. Whether you're working on a puzzle with a grandchild or a friend, it's a bonding experience that also keeps your brain in good shape. And if traditional jigsaw puzzles aren't your thing, don't worry, there are plenty of digital versions available online, or even on apps that you can play on your phone or tablet. These digital puzzles often come with cool features, like time challenges or different difficulty levels, to keep things exciting. Now that we've covered word association games and puzzles, let's move on to the next game, one that you can easily do with a deck of cards: memory match games. If you've ever played concentration, you're already familiar with how this works. The game is simple. You lay out a set of cards face down, and then take turns flipping 2 cards at a time to see if they match. The goal is to find all the pairs. Sounds easy, right? Well, as the game progresses, the cards get shuffled around, and you'll need to rely on your memory to remember where the matching cards are. Memory match games are great for sharpening your short-term memory because they require you to keep track of the cards you've already seen and where they are located. It's like a little workout for your brain, and it's also a lot of fun. If you don't have a deck of cards handy, you can easily find memory match games online or as mobile apps. And, just like with a word association game, you can increase the difficulty by adding more cards or setting a timer to see how quickly you can find all the pairs. Memory match games also have the added benefit of being a social activity. You can invite friends or family to play, and it's a wonderful way to interact and challenge each other. The best part? You're sharpening your memory without even realizing it. It's all part of the fun. Now that we've explored these first 3 games, word association, jigsaw puzzles, and memory match games, you can see that there are plenty of ways to engage your brain in a fun, low-pressure way. And the beauty of these games is that they don't require any special equipment or a lot of time. You can fit them into your daily routine, whether it's during a quiet morning at home or while sitting on the porch enjoying the evening breeze. But before we move on to the final game that I want to share with you, let's pause for a moment. Think about how much time you spend on activities that require physical movement, like going for a walk or exercising. Now, imagine spending even just a little bit of that time focusing on your brain health, using some of the games I've mentioned. You don't have to dedicate hours, just a few minutes here and there can have a big impact on your overall well-being. Now that we've covered some fun ways to keep your brain sharp, let's move on to the next activity that can take your brain power to the next level. Stay with me, it's going to be just as fun and easy to try. Now that you've had a chance to try word association games, jigsaw puzzles, and memory match games, you might be feeling pretty good about your brain workout routine. But trust me, we're just getting started. Let's talk about another game that's as simple as it is powerful for your memory: number games, specifically games that involve mental math. I know, the word math might make some of us groan, but I promise, it's not about complex equations or anything too intense. Instead, it's about engaging your brain in basic arithmetic to sharpen your focus and memory. For example, you can do a simple game where you pick a number, say 25, and then add or subtract numbers to it. Try adding 7, then subtracting 3, and see how quickly you can do this in your head. If you're looking for a way to make it even more interesting, you can set a timer. Try to see how many calculations you can do within a certain time frame, say, 2 minutes. You might be surprised at how quickly your brain adapts and how much more comfortable you get with mental math over time. The beauty of number games is that they keep your brain active and force you to focus on something for a few minutes, which can help with both memory and concentration. You can also try playing with others. For example, you could challenge a friend or family member to see who can get the highest score in a mental math challenge. You might even try playing games that are based on math, like Sudoku, or number-based crossword puzzles, which combine pattern recognition with mental calculations. These games are excellent for enhancing your cognitive abilities, and the best part is that they are accessible, even if you're not a fan of more formal math exercises. I remember a friend of mine telling me how she started playing Sudoku in her 60s, just to pass the time. At first, she struggled to complete a puzzle, but with practice, she started to notice a real difference in her ability to concentrate. It wasn't just about solving the puzzle, it was about sharpening her mind in the process. And what's great is that she found it to be a fun, relaxing way to keep her brain in tip-top shape. Now, let's move on to something a little different, but just as important for keeping your memory sharp: learning something new. And when I say learning something new, I don't mean that you need to enroll in a full-blown class or spend hours studying. It could be as simple as learning a new hobby or skill that excites you. Have you ever tried knitting or learning how to play a musical instrument? Or maybe you've always wanted to try learning a new language or cook a new recipe. The key here is novelty. Your brain thrives on new challenges and experiences. When you learn something new, especially if it involves a skill that's unfamiliar to you, it forces your brain to make new connections, which is excellent for your memory and cognitive function. For example, if you've never tried playing an instrument before, learning the basics of reading music or practicing scales will engage your brain in a whole new way. Or, if you decide to start learning a new language, your brain will have to work harder to memorize words, sentence structures, and pronunciation, which is a great workout for your memory. The beauty of learning something new is that it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or a seasoned pro, you're still challenging your brain to make new connections. And the best part is that you can choose something that genuinely excites you. Maybe you've always wanted to learn how to bake, or you've got a passion for gardening but never really learned the ins and outs. Whatever it is, start small, and you'll find that it's not just the skill you're learning that matters, but the mental benefits that come with it. A great example of this comes from a lady I know who started painting in her 60s. She never considered herself an artist before, but she took a few classes and started experimenting with different painting techniques. Over time, she noticed her focus and creativity improving, and what was once a hobby turned into a real passion. And it wasn't just her art that improved, her memory also benefited because she was constantly challenging herself to learn new techniques, experiment with different colors, and remember what she had practiced. So, whether you decide to pick up a paintbrush, learn a new recipe, or finally get around to learning a language, you're giving your brain a fantastic workout, all while having fun in the process. Now, let's talk about a game that involves a bit more physical activity, but is still incredibly beneficial for your memory: dance. Yes, you heard me right, dancing. It's not just fun, but it's also one of the best ways to improve both your physical and mental health. And the good news is, you don't need to be a professional dancer to reap the benefits. Whether you're dancing to your favorite music in your living room or joining a local dance class, movement and rhythm helps stimulate the brain in ways that other activities can't. Dancing requires coordination, memory, and attention, all of which are essential for keeping your brain sharp. When you learn a new dance routine or even just follow along with a simple waltz, your brain has to memorize the sequence of steps, anticipate the movements, and stay focused on the rhythm. Not only does this challenge your memory, but it also improves your balance and coordination, which are crucial as we age. But the real magic happens when you make it social. Dance classes or even just dancing with a partner can boost your mood and help you feel more connected with others. There's something about moving to music that lifts your spirits, and when you're happy, your brain is more likely to stay sharp. Plus, the more you dance, the more your memory improves, because the physical activity and mental exercise go hand in hand. You don't need to worry about being perfect, just get up and move. Whether it's a little cha-cha in the kitchen or a slow waltz in the living room, dancing is a fun and accessible way to keep your memory in top shape while staying active. As we've explored these different games, from mental math challenges to learning new skills, and even dancing, I hope you're starting to see just how easy and enjoyable it can be to keep your mind sharp. You don't need to spend hours a day, it's about fitting these fun activities into your routine and making them a regular part of your life. But there's still one more game I want to share with you, one that will really put everything we've discussed so far into practice. Stay with me, this one's going to tie everything together in a way you might not expect. Now that we've covered so many fun and effective ways to give your brain a good workout, whether it's through word games, puzzles, memory challenges, or even dancing, it's time for the final game. This one is truly special, and I'm excited to share it with you because it brings everything together in a way that's both engaging and incredibly beneficial for your memory. The game I'm talking about is storytelling. Yes, storytelling. Now, you might be thinking, that doesn't sound like a game, but let me explain. Storytelling is one of the best ways to engage your brain in a meaningful, creative way. It's all about recalling details, forming connections, and using your imagination, all of which are fantastic for memory. The idea behind storytelling is simple: create a story, whether it's based on something real or entirely fictional, and then tell it out loud or write it down. It doesn't have to be long or elaborate, just something that challenges your memory and allows your brain to exercise its creativity. For instance, start by thinking about a moment from your childhood, a funny memory, a special occasion, or even a challenging experience. As you begin to tell the story, focus on recalling the details. Where were you? What did people look like? What sounds and smells do you remember? The more details you can bring to life, the more your memory is engaged. This exercise is like a brain workout for your imagination. The act of telling a story forces you to recall information, organize it, and present it in a way that makes sense. As you practice, you'll find that your ability to remember details from your past improves, and your brain gets better at forming connections between events, people, and places. You can also make it even more fun by adding twists to the stories or combining real-life events with bits of fiction. This not only engages your memory but also stimulates creativity, which is an important part of keeping your brain flexible and sharp. The beauty of storytelling is that it can be done in so many ways. You can tell stories to your family, share them in a group, or even write them down as part of a personal journal. Writing, in particular, can be incredibly helpful because it allows you to focus on the details in a different way, giving you the chance to slow down and truly engage with your memory. Plus, it's a wonderful way to preserve your experiences for future generations. Storytelling can also be a fantastic social activity. I'm sure you've enjoyed listening to a good story from a friend or family member. Well, by sharing your own stories, you're not only keeping your mind sharp but also strengthening your connections with others. It's a way to bond, reminisce, and pass on your wisdom, all while giving your brain the exercise it craves. So, storytelling is the perfect final game to keep your memory sharp. It combines all the best elements: recall, creativity, social interaction, and fun. And just like the other activities we've talked about, it doesn't take a lot of time to get started. You can tell a short story to a friend or family member in just a few minutes, or even spend some time writing in a journal to develop your storytelling skills. The more you do it, the better your memory and cognitive function will become. As we wrap up our journey through these brain-boosting games, I want to take a moment to remind you of something important. It's not about perfection, it's about making the effort to engage with your brain in a fun and consistent way. Just like with physical exercise, the key to keeping your mind sharp is regular practice. And with these games, you don't need to commit hours a day. A few minutes here and there can make all the difference. Remember, you are never too old to start strengthening your brain. In fact, your brain is constantly capable of forming new connections and improving its function no matter your age. It's all about challenging yourself, trying new things, and giving your brain the attention it deserves. The best part is that these games aren't just beneficial for your memory, they also bring joy, laughter, and a sense of accomplishment into your life. So why not start today? I encourage you to pick one of these games, whether it's word association, puzzles, mental math, learning something new, dancing, or storytelling, and incorporate it into your daily routine. You'll be amazed at how much fun you have while also giving your brain the workout it needs. Before we wrap up, I want to hear from you. Which of these games are you most excited to try? Or maybe you've already been playing some of these activities and have noticed improvements in your memory. Let me know in the comments below. I love hearing your stories. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more tips on staying sharp and healthy at any age. And remember, the key to living your best life, no matter your age, is to keep learning, keep moving, and most importantly, keep having fun. Here's to living your best, most vibrant life at any age. Keep challenging yourself, and don't forget to enjoy the journey.